Hey there, welcome to the Be Amplified podcast. I'm Amy Patee, the show host. Thanks for being here. This is a podcast for soulful female entrepreneurs who are tuned into their energy and they want to let their energy, their brilliance, their radiance shine bright as they do their great work in the world. So welcome. Thanks for being here. And I'm going to offer you a little formula today to consider in your business with whatever you are dreaming up, especially for, let's say, 2026, because we are nearing the end of the year. I'm recording this podcast in November. I can't believe it. Time is flying by so fast. And if you're listening to this on the other side, give me a little wink, wink, or a thumbs up if you agree. Time has accelerated. Can you feel it? The months are just buzzing by so fast. I literally cannot believe we are nearing the end of November, and soon it's going to be the end of the year. It'll be a wrap, and 2026 will be here, and I think it's going to be a wild ride. 2025 has been a wild ride, and I don't think that's ending. I think it's going to continue to be pretty wild, pretty fast-paced, evolving, changing at Mach speed. So buckle in, buckle up, buckle in for this ride that we are all on together. But back to my point, I want to offer you just a little formula to think about, because this is the time of year where some of us in business are planning. We are thinking about next year, what's coming, what am I going to be offering, and maybe doing a little vision work. And this is a formula that you want to apply to all of your dreams, your desires, your brilliant ideas that you want to manifest in 2026. So this formula goes like this: clarity plus alignment plus action equals success. Clarity plus alignment plus action equals success. So when an idea pops in that you think, ooh, I want to do this. This sounds like a good idea. Ooh, I want to manifest this in my business. You want to harness that clarity and write it down, jot it down. Maybe you have a parking lot of ideas. If you're anything like me, I am a multi-passionate person. I am constantly getting ideas, and I can simply scroll social media for, 5 minutes and I'll have 10 brand new ideas that pop into my mind. And some of us are very open that way. We are very open to inspiration. If you are familiar with your human design chart, if you have an open crown, an open head center at the very top of your body graph, or an open ajna, which connects to the mind, if those two centers are open, meaning they're white versus colored in, you may be more susceptible to the ideas that are floating out there in the universe than those that might have those two centers colored in. When they're open, you're just a little bit more sensitive and you take in what's out there in the world around you. And it's easy sometimes to identify with those things and think that they are for you, that they are your own. So if you have some ideas popping in, ideas maybe for 2026, for next year that you want to create or manifest, bring to life in your business, it's a good idea, again, especially if you're open in your head and ajna centers, to write those ideas down and sit with them for a little bit of time and return to them maybe, in an hour, maybe the next day, and see if you still feel a sense of clarity about wanting to do that. There's this sense of clarity, like, yes, that's for me. So this is step one of the formula, is to just have clarity. And I think that this is overlooked sometimes, but Coming from me, I feel like I've spent the last 10 years of my life in a lack of clarity, in a space where I was lacking clarity. And it was purposeful. And there were things that I was still doing, of course, with my business in my life, but there was this sense of just a lack of clarity. Like, I'm not quite sure what's the direction, what's the real big thing that I'm doing. And again, I say that was purposeful because I was going through a major Pluto transit, Pluto crossing, my Mercury, my Mars, my Sun, my Moon, major Pluto, major transformation. And it makes sense that I would have lacked clarity during that time, especially about my work, because I was going through such a deep metamorphosis. But I'm coming out of that. The clarity is returning, and clarity is key. Before you take action on anything in your business, sit with it and make sure you feel really clear. Yes, this is for me. Yes, this is for my business. And alignment, which is the next part of this formula that I'm offering you, alignment kind of goes hand in hand with clarity usually. So something drops in, an idea, you have this thing that you want to create and put out into the world. You feel very clear about it. Yes, I can do this. It utilizes my gifts and I feel aligned. And the alignment is going to feel different for everybody, but in human design, we all have an inner authority, which is how we make correct decisions for ourselves. So you could refer to your inner authority in human design to make sure that you are really feeling that true alignment with whatever it is that you want to manifest. And again, I'm saying these steps, or I'm breaking, down these steps because we get swept up often just by scrolling social media. We get swept up and we think, I should do it this way. I should create a podcast. I should launch a YouTube channel. I should be on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all the different social media sites. I should create a package to offer my clients like this other person created over there. So again, clarity. Ooh, I like that package idea that I saw this other person doing. I want to do that. I write it down. I sit with it. I come back to it. Ooh, yeah, that is something I want to do. It feels like a good fit for my business. I like the idea of it. I could deliver it, no problem. I think it will be a great add-on to what I'm already offering in my business. And I feel deeply aligned with this. My sacral center, I'm a sacral inner authority in human design. My sacral center is lit up. I feel excited about it. I have energy to create this offer or to do this thing. Now, if I felt clarity, like my mind is like, yes, this is the right step. This is the right direction. Do this thing. But then I tuned into my inner authority and my body was like, flatlined, no energy, wasn't excited. And this is the dilemma that many of us face. Our mind says one thing and we're convinced by it. We feel very clear. We have clarity about this one thing. Our mind has convinced us that this is right, but we can feel like deep down inside of us, or maybe through our inner authority, we can feel something's off. Sounds good, looks good on paper, but something's off. It doesn't feel quite right. It's not really aligned. These first two parts of this formula are so important, and I've done this so many times. Great idea, looks good on paper, makes sense. I can do it. I can deliver it well, all of the things, but the energy beneath that is just not there. I'm not fully aligned. My energy, which I may not completely understand in the moment, but my energy is saying, no, you don't have energy for that. It's not aligned. Okay. So whatever's on the table for you, whatever you're thinking about doing, creating, putting out there into the world, do you feel really clear about what that is and that you can deliver it, that you want to? And that's more of a mental process. And do you feel aligned energetically, somatically in your body? Is your heart on board? Is your gut on board with it? And then the last step in this formula is action. You need to take action. And if you tuned in last week to the podcast, I was talking about perfectionism and how perfectionism can really stall things in our business. Perfectionism can sometimes show up in sneaky ways and hold us back and keep us from launching the podcast, putting ourselves out there in new ways, creating a new offer that we want to share with the world. Perfectionism can tell us we're not ready, it's not good enough. But to reach success, right, to experience success in our business, we need to be willing to take action, and often messy action. Everybody's different, but messy action is better than no action. And if you want to complete this little formula, this little success formula that I'm sharing with you today, you need to be willing to take that first step and to be a little messy. And that's okay, because being an entrepreneur is really a messy experience, to be honest. You're not going to a job, clocking in, clocking out, and have this like perfectly defined list of duties that you need to fulfill, which not every job has, but if you're working for somebody else, they often will give you, these are the requirements. This is what we want you to do. It's kind of packaged up for you. But as an entrepreneur, you're a trailblazer in your own right, in your own business. You are discovering the path, creating the path as you go for yourself and your business. That is just part of being an entrepreneur, and it's messy. It's a little messy. It's not going to be perfect. So you have to be willing to take action. So as we begin to, again, approach the end of the year, as we begin to open up our vision and look into the future for ourselves, our lives, our businesses, what is something that you want to bring to life? And of course, specifically in your business, what is something that you want to bring to life in your business? Do you feel clear about that? Do you have mental clarity about that thing, that it's a yes, that you want to do it, that it's something that you can do that would benefit your business? And then do you feel aligned internally, energetically with that? Is your energy saying yes? Is your body saying yes? And just know that the clarity often is devised in your mind, and the alignment comes from a deeper place, from your heart, your gut, your hips, your cells in your body, your aura, your frequency. The alignment comes from there. And sometimes the mind and the body have different ideas. Okay, so clarity is there, alignment, make sure that is there. And then the action, bring the action into this formula. Take action. What are the first steps that you're going to take to bring something to life? When you put all three of these together, clarity, alignment, and action, guess what? You experience success. Now, this success can look all different ways, right? It could be success financially. It could be success in the sense that you just feel good about yourself because you did something new and different. You launched something, you got it out there into the world. It could look like success because it failed, but it's a success because you figured it out. You figured out how not to do it. You figured out what doesn't work. You figured out that after doing it, you don't want to keep doing it, but you had to do it to figure it out. So success can be all different things in terms of how it shows up for you in relation to what you're doing. But success comes by having clarity, feeling aligned, and taking action. Let this formula come along with you into the rest of your day, and contemplate what you want to bring to life next year, and just write this formula down and use it like a measuring stick for all of your ideas. And think about what you're going to take action on and what's going to come alive in 2026. All right. If you want to dive deeper, with support, reach out, check out the links in the show notes to download your free human design chart if you haven't already, and look at those two centers at the top of your body graph, the head center and the ajna center, and see if yours are open, meaning you're a little more susceptible to all of the ideas floating around out there in the universe, or if they're defined, if they're colored in, because that means you don't absorb as easily because you have your own energy there and you generate your own inspiration and ideas from within, from your own energy. Fascinating stuff. So download your free human design chart and then check out the other links below for working with me if you want some one-on-one attention and you want to grow your business. We can work this formula together. All right. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll catch you on the next episode.